Welcome to my rabbitry. This is the Domino effects rabbitry. This is some of my cages. As you can see, I've got name tags on all my cages because all my bunnies are very special to me. These cages are just simple box cages, and as you can see, we'll open this one up. What I've done here, hi bunnies, hello bunnies, is they have a separate compartment over here so they can get back and forth. This is where mommy has her babies, is in here, because it closes up. It's free from the rain and the wind. This is where they stay when it's really cold in the winter time. We fill this right full with straw, and then the rabbit burrows a hole into it, and that's where it stays warm in the winter. You see the bunnies can go back and forth. What did you guys do? You spilt your food everywhere. I prefer to bed my bunnies on a solid floor bottom with straw. There's advantages and disadvantages to the straw. It is messier, and unfortunately I have checkered giants, so they tend to be mostly white, and the straw will stain their feet. Well, that's just something I'm willing to deal with. A lot of people will bed their bunnies on a wire mesh bottom. It's much cleaner. The rabbits don't get stained. It's easier to clean their cages. But I don't know, I've read reports that's hard on rabbits, and certainly harder on the larger breeds. I think the smaller breeds tolerate it very well. These hutches over here, they're kind of special because you know what they are actually? Let me show you. These are actually old deep freezes, and they're wonderful because they're metal inside, so they're really easy to clean. If I ever have a disease problem, which I haven't so far, and hopefully I never will, I can pressure wash these and disinfect them. They're insulated, naturally, because they're a freezer, and it keeps it cool in the summer and warm in the winter. And a lot of freezers have a separate compartment, which is great. You put a hole in here for the bunnies, and now all of a sudden they have a nesting hole. And this is again where the does would have their babies. It's dry and warm. It's got a solid door so that it's private and safe from the elements, the wind and the rain. And again, I use straw as I just find it more convenient. I don't clean the cages every day. They get cleaned about every 3 days, unless there's more than one rabbit. Well, this is Hope's cage. She's got a great big freezer, and it's got lots of doors. Hey bunnies, don't fall out. I have to be careful. They're very friendly little bunnies. I feed my bunnies just a staple rabbit food, bunny pellet, but they always get fresh grass every day. I'm a very big believer. Grass, weeds, dandelions, lovage. What else do I feed them? Plantain. What's the other? It's called goosefoot. Oh, chickweed and clover. All that stuff's very important, I believe, to the health of the rabbits. In the summer, I pick grass specifically for them so that they have all this. And there's Hope. She's got a little nesting box. That's where all these little bunnies were born.
Here's the rest of my rabbitry. Over here, I deliberately don't mow the grass here. This is where I pick all the grass to feed the bunnies. And right here is a cage that I picked up at an auction. I don't think I'd ever build a cage like this. It has a partial mesh floor, but the big rabbits, their turds don't fall through, so it becomes very messy anyway. This is a large cage, and I hope to build more of them. This is Ears. This little rabbit here belongs to my son, and she's a very friendly bunny. This is Euphrates. She's one of my checkered giant blue sport does. She's a young doe. This is her first litter. She had 3 of her own, and she fostered a few babies. This is one of the smaller cages, but you can see it's quite roomy enough for them.
This is Guinevere. Now she is a 3/4 Flemish, 1/4 checkered giant. She's just a young mama. This is her first litter. And she only had 2 bunnies, but unfortunately one failed to thrive. But she has one healthy little bunny. And my children just love this bunny. It gets loads of attention because of course it's the only one here. There's the little cubby hole where the babies were born.
I try to keep my rabbitry fairly organized. Over here I have a bin that I use to put all of my straw in. This keeps it nice and dry. I have a wheelbarrow to cart away all the manure, and I use the manure to mulch my trees. It's really good fertilizer for that.
All of the mess.
I have a large pen here that I keep my Flemish giant cross bunnies. That's a fairly big pen with lots of nooks and crannies so that they can stay dry and get out of the sun.
Very important that bunnies also require a lot of shelter from the heat of the day. They actually handle the cold weather better than they do the hot weather. So there's lots of nooks and crannies and shelters in here. And rabbits eat a lot. Seems like they're always eating. And unfortunately, bunny food's not cheap. But here they are, enjoying.
Bunnies eat a lot of food.
I like to provide a lot of lounge spots for rabbits. They like to get off the ground. Now for their size, rabbits drink a lot of water. This is just a drawer from a refrigerator crisper. It works very well. It holds a good quantity of water. It's easy to keep clean. And the rabbits can access it easy enough. When I have little tiny babies, I put a lower dish, one that's shallower, so that they can reach it better. This is where I let my rabbits have a little play. I try to let them come out here and play as often as I can. Supervised, of course. I don't have mesh on the ground here, so in theory they could dig out. But I like to see my rabbits run around and exercise their legs. They can pick their own grass and chew on the wood. They got a little tunnel there they can go in to get out of the heat.